The archipelago now known as the Philippines was inhabited as far back as 30,000 years ago by Austronesian-speaking peoples. They established complex societies, developed agriculture, and engaged in trade. By 900 AD, the region had a series of decentralized chiefdoms. In 1380, Islam was introduced to the Philippines by Arab traders and missionaries. This laid the foundation for the Sultanate of Sulu, which became a major Muslim power in the southern part of the archipelago. Meanwhile, the northern Philippines had a variety of tribal communities, such as the Tagalog and Igorot. In 1521, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan landed in the Philippines and claimed the islands for Spain. Magellan's arrival marked the start of Spanish colonization in the archipelago, leading to a series of expeditions and the spread of Christianity by Spanish missionaries. In 1565, Miguel López de Legazpi established the first permanent Spanish settlement in Cebu. For the next several centuries, the Philippines were part of the Spanish East Indies, governed from Mexico. Spanish rule was characterized by forced labor, tribute, and land dispossession, which led to uprisings like the Tondo Conspiracy and Dagohoy Rebellion. In 1762, the British briefly occupied Manila, but the Philippines was returned to Spain through the Treaty of Paris in 1763. The 19th century saw the rise of Filipino nationalism and reform movements, with figures like José Rizal advocating for change. In 1896, the Philippine Revolution began under the leadership of Emilio Aguinaldo, seeking independence from Spanish rule. The revolution was briefly interrupted by the Philippine-American War, 1899 to 1902, which ended with the Philippines being ceded to the United States as part of the Treaty of Paris in 1898. American rule introduced a new wave of political and social changes. During World War II, the Philippines was occupied by Japan from 1942 to 1945, leading to the Battle of Bataan and the Bataan Death March. General Douglas MacArthur returned to the Philippines in 1944, and the islands were eventually liberated with the support of Filipino and American forces. On July 4, 1946, the United States granted independence to the Philippines, making it the Republic of the Philippines. Manuel Roxas became the first president of the newly independent nation. The post-independence period was marked by political and economic challenges. The Philippines faced corruption, political instability, and authoritarian rule under leaders like Ferdinand Marcos. Marcos declared martial law in 1972, effectively establishing a dictatorship that lasted until 1986. In 1986, the People Power Revolution ousted Ferdinand Marcos and his wife, Imelda Marcos, from power. Corazon Aquino, the widow of assassinated opposition leader Benigno Aquino Jr., became the president and symbolized a peaceful transition to democracy. The post-Marcos era witnessed efforts to rebuild democratic institutions, but the Philippines continued to grapple with political corruption and economic disparities. Subsequent administrations, including those of Fidel V. Ramos, Joseph Estrada, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and Benigno Noynoy Aquino III, worked to address these issues. In 2016, Rodrigo Duterte was elected president. His administration focused on addressing crime and drugs, but it also attracted international criticism for human rights abuses and extrajudicial killings. Duterte's presidency marked a shift in the Philippines' foreign policy, with a pivot towards China and away from the United States. As the Philippines entered the 21st century, it continued to grapple with a range of challenges, including territorial disputes in the South China Sea, natural disasters, and issues related to poverty and inequality. The nation remained a diverse mosaic of cultures, languages, and traditions, with a strong sense of national identity. In conclusion, the history of the Philippines is a complex narrative of indigenous cultures, colonialism, struggle for independence, and political changes. It reflects the resilience and determination of the Filipino people in the face of various challenges and the ongoing quest for a better future.